Now, most of us don't like to think about what ifs, but how many of us have the protection that we need when it comes to our personal possessions? Renter's insurance may seem a bit daunting, but we're going to learn the ins and outs of finding the right policy. We're here with Keith Pellerin, Consumer Insurance Products Executive for Bank of America. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Beth. Great to be here.
I'm so excited that you're here. This hits home for me. When I was young, growing up, we were robbed and pretty much completely wiped out. Now, my parents owned their home. They weren't renting, but insurance played a big role in, recovering from that.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about that unfortunate circumstance, and oftentimes it's not really until an unfortunate circumstance like that occurs that you shared with us that people really appreciate and understand and realize the importance and value of having insurance.
Now, when we're talking about people who are renting, some people may not think that they need a policy, but who is this policy right for? What should they be looking for?
Renter's insurance is really right for anyone that rents a home or an apartment. There are some monthly payment plans that are very flexible and allow a lot of flexibility for customers. Also, if you do any type of entertaining, oftentimes personal liability coverage, which is in many standard renters policies, can cover or protect you in the event that if an unfortunate circumstance occurs and someone is injured on your premises or if you damage their personal property.
Wow, that's something that people might not think about, especially if they have a lot of kids in their home and kids going in and out, before and after school.
Absolutely.
Now, a lot of people might think that they're covered by their landlord. Is that true?
Unfortunately, most standard policies don't. We find that a lot of renters assume that they have coverage somehow with their landlord's policy. And typically, a landlord's master policy is going to protect the landlord, the building, the structure, and the interest of the landlord, and not really extend to the personal belongings of the renter. So in that situation, renters certainly need to have their own coverage.
And they need to ask all of these questions when going in to sign any kind of lease agreement.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're talking about getting this insurance, does everything need to be itemized?
We think it's a smart idea to inventory your belongings. It's actually simple, very simple to get a renter's policy, but we find when you itemize your belongings, when you start to add up the furniture, the cost of clothing, personal electronics, things like that, a lot of people don't realize how expensive that can be. And so having an itemized list is a very important thing. Capture things like model numbers, serial numbers. It makes it much easier if you have an unfortunate circumstance during the claims process. It also can help you understand and determine what the right level of coverage is.
Now, what I do whenever I was renting, I just took around my digital camera or a Polaroid and I just took pictures of things like jewelry or, the high ticket items, furniture, things like that. Is that enough?
That's a great start. It's a great approach. Using a digital camera, a digital video recorder is a great way to capture the belongings that you have. We also recommend a written record, one that you can capture model numbers, serial numbers, things like that, and keep that off premises so that if your belongings are damaged or stolen, then you've actually got that off premises. So with a friend or a neighbor or in a safety deposit box, and also make sure your insurance agent has a copy of it as well. Periodically update that. It's important to make sure that you keep up to date with that inventory list so that you might even think about as daylight savings time changes or if you're changing the batteries in your smoke alarm, that's a good time to make sure you've updated that list recently. And it's also very good to demonstrate, in case you have a theft, the items that you had before the theft occurred.
So just to have proof, actually, that I did own this ring or something. Now, I know at my house, I'm the person who ends up doing the decision-making when it comes to things like insurance and our household finances. Do you find that that's true, that that women are really taking the lead on this?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, in nearly 1 in every 2 households, U.S. households, we find that women take the lead in the financial decisions. And frankly, that number is increasing.
And I know that money is pretty tight nowadays, that people are concerned, especially after the holidays. Is this something that's affordable for people?
Quite affordable. Not only is renter's insurance something that's simple to get, but it's as inexpensive as 56 cents a day. And so a lot of our customers are able to get their insurance very affordably.
You've had some great information for us. You made this not intimidating at all.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be here.
So glad that you were here. Thank you so much. Now, it's never too late for you to add one more New Year's resolution to your list. So if you would like to learn more and get information, maybe a quote, just log on to bankofamerica.com/renters. And coming up next, an easy solution for those impossible stains on your family's clothes. Keep it right here.